And she was like, "Are you from Costa Rica, right?" And I said, "Yes." I don't know what to do with you guys. You are always happy and nice people, even if we are mean to you.
Today, I have an update from one of my favorite guests on Tales from the Crypts, and I couldn't be happier to have him back. If you haven't listened to episode 9, you're in luck, because you get to listen to it for the first time. Go back and give it a listen, and then come back here to find out about my guest's latest dream. And now, take a guess. Which paddle shop has helped support my guest's adventures? Yep, the same one that helps support this show. Four Corners Riversports in Durango, Colorado. It's primetime boating season in most of North America, so when it's time for a refresh of gear, Four Corners almost certainly has what you need. So consider giving them your support. Four Corners Riversports is located in Durango, Colorado. They are a full-service paddle sports retail and rental store. If you're looking to get on the water, look no further than Four Corners Riversports. Call them at 970-259-3893 or visit their website at www.riversports.com. This episode is also sponsored by Taylor Barker with the group real estate Steamboat. I've known and paddled with Taylor for years, and he brings passion to everything he does. Steamboat Springs is a wonderful town with the Yampa River running right through it and has a vibrant and friendly boating community. If you're thinking of making a move to the Steamboat area or purchasing a vacation home, be sure to get in touch with Taylor. He's happy to give you a lay of the land, the real estate market, and to help find the perfect property for you. You can reach him at 336-314-4353 or by email at taylor@brokerintheboat.com. You can find those links in the show notes. This podcast is being featured on paddlinglife.com. Paddlinglife.com does a wonderful job of finding all the most interesting happenings in the world of paddling and bringing them straight to you in the form of news, interviews, articles, videos, and more. Check out paddlinglife.com. And now, on to the show. All right. Hello and welcome to Tales from the Crips, a whitewater storytelling podcast. My guest is coming back today for a second time on the show, and I couldn't be more psyched about who it is. His story was one of my favorites, one of my most downloaded episodes, and one that I received a lot of great comments about. It's truly a small world because even though we live in different countries and even though I don't even get out much these days, we've run into each other serendipitously both last year and again last weekend. And each time I'm struck by my guest's energy, his stoke, his positivity, his vision for the future. So here to catch up with us on his travels and his life and what he's been up to is Andrey Coto Robles.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be back. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so happy to share a little bit of what's been the last time I saw you. And right now I'm in Colorado. I'm having great time seeing these beautiful rivers. And thank you so much. And thank you everybody who listened to us. Pura vida. Woo-hoo.
All right, man. Yeah, so I finally met you in person last year, and we were down at, a lot of people won't have heard of this actually, but it's Escalante Creek. It's in western Colorado near the Utah border, and we had a record snowpack last year, and there were tons of people from the area that came out, and the Durango crew is out there, and you rolled up. And I was like, oh, man, I recognize that guy. and you're like, man, you wouldn't believe this story. I just went to the Little White Race and got back. So let's hear it. Share that story with everybody.
Oh, that was a really good time. I'm happy to meet you there. It was like a very, very good float on Escalante Creek. And I was so happy just to be there because it's a long story. I want to start from the beginning. I was in Costa Rica, and I realized like little white salmon rays is like maybe in 2 weeks or so. I invest all my money to get to that race because it was like a dream to be in this type of race, and it's one of my favorite rivers in the world. I love the community there, and it was like a dream. And I risked everything, and I use all my money to buy the ticket, even if I want to be camping next to the river and eating cookies. I was no worry about it because my desire to be part of this event was bigger. So, long story short, I get in the plane, and I my plan was to kind of do the race and then stay a little bit around the states and see how everything goes. So I went to the race. My friends from the gorge, like Mary and Andrew Morsi, they picked me at the airport. They helped me to have a lap before the race, and I was camping next to the White Salmon River. It was like a little cold because it was around March,
Yeah.
and I remember one of my favorite moments from that was like open my tent, go. I needed to go pee, and then I see like it's like snowing. I was like, oh my god, what
Not
I'm doing.
home anymore.
And it was so cool because Andrew helped me to kind of remember some lines of the river. And that night, last minute, he asking me if we can race together. And he's one of the paddlers I respect the most. He do a lot of great kayaking all over. He's
Yeah.
he's he's a
I ran
legend.
into him in Mexico. He
Uh-huh.
definitely has some
And
skills. Yeah.
and I was so happy because he's a local from White Salmon and he knows all the lines. So I was a little scared to race by my own because it's a very tough river. And when, I need to get used to the cold water, more gear and stuff, I didn't have time to train in the river. So we ended up doing it together. And it was like the best race I ever been. Race that river, just run it. It's amazing, but racing, like when you have to go as fast as you can and deal all those class 5 rapids, like if you miss the line you are in trouble, and it's still
Yeah.
going hard towards the end. It was amazing. It was like one of the best experience I ever had, and we ended up doing pretty good. Like we ended up like being like 8 or 7. I think it was like 8. and
That's
uh,
great.
and we
Considering how many amazing paddlers run
we
that race.
did like 7 plays, and we did like 18 minutes on the race. Like we honestly we just fast. We were so smooth. I remember I deal all the lines how I vision, and I was really fast. Like it's so cool when you race that you land after a big rapid and you feel like a turbo because your kayak skip, so you kind of get like some energy to keep going. I remember like some of the like flat little pools. I was with no air. I start looking colors and stuff, so I need to keep breathing. Anyway, we did it, and we have a lot of fun. And the biggest surprise arrived later when I went to the awards, and we are like having great time. And the only ticket in the raffle that I bought because I was low on money. Uh, with that ticket, I won a brand new kayak. And I'm like, no way, this is not happening. I won in the 2023 Little White Race a brand new kayak, a Supernova Dagger. I was like, no way, with only one ticket, I get a brand new kayak.
That's
So it was
amazing.
it was like maybe one of my best nights or best days of my life because I was so happy and thankful that I get a brand new kayak. So it was a hard decision, but at the end I ended up selling the kayak because I need to kind of get some money to get back, or some money to keep living my life in the States.
Sure.
So I see it as a gift for risk and follow my dreams. So I sell it and I get like, I think like $1,300, and I was rich again. I was, I was like, oh yeah, now I can have food, I can sleep well, I can keep kayaking, and I decided to go and visit my friend Russell from Durango,
Hmm.
and that's why I meet you in person, because he was the one who invited me to go to Escalante.
Yeah,
He showed me,
a good choice. Yeah.
yeah, he showed me like great runs. I remember like he was introducing me to his best friends in Durango, that they are amazing. They kind of helping me, showing me the lines, and we did Escalante, which was one of, I will never forget. Like the last rapid, like in the gorge, like you have like a little drop waterfall, and you have like 4 or 5 moves that you cannot miss back to back in a little gorge,
Yeah.
full commitment gorge. So I
That,
remember when I did
those
that rapid, I was feeling so happy.
those
I
those water levels. Yeah, it's pretty exciting in the
Yeah,
gorge.
it was like big water levels, and I scout the rapid very well, but the last part you cannot scout very much, and it goes into kind of into a cave, crazy, weird, cooler. So it was so nice that me and another guide, we made it, we run it, and it was like safe lines. We were happy, so that was a very good memory from Escalante. Then he
So
took.
as I recall, the Russ didn't give you such great lines on the second lap when you got stuck in that hole in water slide, which is a super horrible place to be
Oh
stuck.
man, I almost forget that. Thank you for reminding. I
So you're such an optimist. You only remember the good parts.
I remember that was a very gnarly haul. No, it was not Ross' fault. It was my fault. Like I didn't move properly, and I ended up in the worst place of the hole.
Yeah.
And
I think that was classic big group problems where we just had lots of people routing it and everyone knew the lines and you were a little bit too far right and ended up
yes,
in that
I was
pocket. But
thinking that's the line, and then I didn't move properly. That was a really nice washing machine, man. I remember like, I was like fighting and fighting and fighting, and I was very lucky. Like after a while, the river let me get out. But I
I was impressed you got out because swimmers have trouble getting out of that pocket sometimes. So it was good you
it's
stayed
so
in
hard
your boat.
in a pocket, and you cannot turn the wall, the drop. Yeah, good memory, man. I try to don't remember a lot of those things.
That's good. Better to erase some of those.
It's nice to remember, because that makes who you are, and from all that you learn, and it's just part of life. Yeah, dude. So after that, they took me to Piedra River at very, very high flow, and it was magical too, because for first time I was be able to see a bear, and
Really? First
yes,
time.
and it was like so close to me, and I was on the river, and I get paralyzed, and I just keep floating, and he was in the shore, and I get really, really close, and a stupid Costa Rica who love animals and don't care about animals. I was thinking I'm a monkey. So I get so close to the bear. He was like, "Hey, how are you?" And I start talking to the bear, and then the bear keep walking, and it was, it was stupid. When I think about it later, I say, "Oh, I'm so stupid. Why I get so close?" But it's like in Costa Rica, we are used to wildlife, and we like and respect wildlife. So I just get freeze. I don't do nothing. I didn't keep paddling. I
Well, most of the bears around here don't really like to mess with people, so he was probably just as scared of you.
yes, but it was so nice for me. And then Ross invited me to do like a mission, and he and his buddies, they wanted to do the whole Dolores River in 3 days, like self support longboat kayaks, like 60 miles a day. And I
Those are
was,
big
I was,
days.
yeah, I was crazy enough to say yes. I join you guys. I didn't know where I'm signing up. So at the end, it was so amazing, so beautiful to see all those canyons, and it was a really, really high flow. So we were moving so fast, and we make it. We make it. We had like the campings were amazing, stars, nice cruise. Every day the kayak was a little bit, less heavy, and we were moving faster. And by the second day, you start loving flat water too. So
You're lucky to get on that. I've never done the Dolores, and oftentimes it doesn't really have enough water to do it. So you were there at the right time.
it's highly recommended.
Mm.
It's so, so beautiful and so diverse and have different canyons and also
Mm.
big rapids. Like close to the end, the last day, we had a couple big, big water rapids with long rapids, lots of big rocks that we scout a few, and like you are not sure if you want to run or not.
Yeah,
it,
that big, huh?
yeah, it's just, and then because you are so heavy and you are in a longboat, you kind of fly through those waves,
That's
and
awesome.
you pass through the holes because you have more weight. So it's like a little submarine. When you see the big white water, you pass under, even if you don't want. So yeah,
That's cool.
Colorado was amazing. So I spent like great time there, and then I get back to White Salmon. And when I get back to White Salmon, I make more friends. I kayak all the rivers. The way how I get from Colorado to White Salmon was by ride. A friend gave me a ride in his car, so
Nice.
we drive from Durango to White Salmon, and we kayak a little bit more. I remember something epic about that coming back to White Salmon was like in that time it was like an event that people were recycling kayaks, and
Yeah.
so everybody who have a kayak, they come and they bring
They're,
it to a place. They
they're
were,
all beat up kayaks that they don't want anymore, basically.
yes, but they were like full. I don't know. It's just couple little fix, and then the kayak in Costa Rica, those kayaks never die. So so it was like some little tiny crack or backseat or simple things that really easy to fix.
It's like
And I saw,
brand new in Costa Rica, right? Like
yes,
you
I
got 10
saw.
more years on that kayak.
Oh man, that was one of the saddest day of my life because I saw like 40 kayaks or more, like 40, 45, like dying in front of my eyes. Like they were cutting the kayaks for do like cutting boards and do other type of stuff. And it's kind of, I saw how when they start cutting the kayaks, the soul of the kayak go away. And after that, it's just plastic. It's not, it doesn't have the power. And I don't know. It was really sad. I arrived a little bit late because if I know it, I will tell them like, please give me some, and I take them to Costa Rica. So anyway, after that event, I was helping and being volunteer with the organization with the boat library, White Salmon Boat Library, and also the Missing Corner in BC, and they helped me to come there. And some people also that day they bring like gear that they don't like anymore and they are not using.
Hmm.
So I remember I saw on the garbage a couple paddles and a couple flotation devices for kids, and I was like, "No way! How you throw that to the garbage?" So I pick up like maybe like 4 or 5 flotation devices for kids, and I get like 3, 4 paddles, and I was like, this is for my Jaguar Academy. This is for the kids in Costa Rica. Somehow I wanna make it happen, and I wanna bring this gear there because there is gold. We have less opportunities in Costa Rica, and it's a very expensive sport that
Sure.
for me is like medicine. The river is like everything. It's like love. It's like beautiful community. It helps you in many things in my life, at least. And so I say this gear is not going to the garbage. I take it to Costa Rica. So
I've, I've always heard the expression that Costa Rica is where kayaking gear goes to die.
it makes sense, man. It makes sense because they never die. If the kayak you cannot fix it more because you don't have more plastic and the crack is in the entire kayak, you use it for put plants in the garden. So
There's always a use, always a use.
decoration. And I am very thankful, bro, because after we talked last time and I talked a little bit about my experience, how the river changed my life and makes me a better person, and how it was like a therapy, and I received so much help. Like Russell started like a GoFundMe for the Jaguar Kayak Academy, and a lot of beautiful people helped me. And with that donation, I was be able to bring gear down to Costa Rica, and that was really important in my life because that was like a dreaming coming alive. And I want to use this opportunity to thank thankful very I want to say thank to everybody who helped because all the kids are there having a great time, and I'm very thankful. It was like very special how it was hard too because imagine I have like a couple donations, so I fly to Costa Rica with 5 kayaks and full of gear like the flotation devices, paddles, my staff, like everything I can pick it up from whatever people for nice people was donating. And so it was a heavy flight, and I was
Yeah. I mean,
I was,
most people are struggling to get one kayak on the plane and feel like they're lucky if they pull that off. Yeah.
so imagine that I was by myself and another friend give me a ride to the airport, and I have to go to airport in Portland, which is really cool. It's very easy for me. I don't know. You just get in, you do check in, you bring your kayak to a special size luggage, and then you are in. And I get with 2 kayaks there because I can only carry two. They were too heavy, so I carry two at the time. And there is like a circular door. Like I don't know if you know what I mean. It's like you have to
Yeah.
get and the door keep spinning. It
Yeah.
was
Revolving door. I know exactly what you mean.
it was so funny, man. Trying to get the perfect timing to get like kind, but
You're like
somehow,
counting off 5, 3, 2, 1, go.
somehow I did it, and I get to the counter, and the lady said, "You are not allowed to leave those kayaks here." And I say, "Okay," and then I start running because I have to pick up. Back with two, she was very angry and she started talking to me. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm coming back in a second. And I run again and pick up the last one. So this is me in front of the counter doing my check in with 5 kayaks with gear. And I don't know, man. I'm very lucky guy, and I deserve good stuff because I share the good vibes and the kayak love from the river. So when the lady say, "Oh, I want to charge you $150 for each kayak," I was like, "Well, thank you very much. I'm so happy." He's smiling, and she's like, "Oh, this guy is weird." I'm telling him like he has to pay a lot of money, and he's happy. And she was like, "Are you from Costa Rica, right?" And I said, "Yes." I don't know what to do with you guys. You are always happy and nice people, even if we are mean to you. I I spent like the last 2 weeks in Costa Rica with my family. I had a great time, and I spent time in the volcanoes, beach, natural places with a lot of wildlife. And honestly, we want to go back. So I will just charge you for 3 kayaks.
Oh man, that's amazing.
Like, what? How this is possible? So
You
it
turned that
was,
one around
man, it was like another.
extreme anger to giving you a discount.
Exactly, because she was expecting like I want to be mad or I want to complain or trying to ask for less price. But honestly, I my biggest fear was like she said, "No, you are not allowed to take 5 kayaks."
Yeah.
So when
That
she gave me
that's a big lesson, isn't it? And how you treat people and how they'll respond to you, right? Like if you're just a positive, good person, it's
man,
hard to be
it
mean to
works.
that.
In my case, he was always like, "Don't change who I am for other people. Like, be who you are and understand maybe they are having a bad day. You never know what they've been through, and they are working. They are not like having fun. They are like, so be I always try to be respectful, and even if they are mean, because sometimes people are very mean, I just try to respect them, let pass the bad vibes and overcome, and it's not my problem and they are having a bad time. So it's a big lesson. It's like if you show a smile, most of the times people treat you different. If you are angry and complaining and bad attitude, you always receive kind of the same reaction. So that's I learned that traveling, man. Like I learned that when you
Uh,
are in a different country and you don't know nobody, and you need to be respectful, be humble. Like this is why I wanna also teach the kids kayaking back home, because
mhm.
kayaking was the tool, was how I was be able to travel and learn so much and become a leader of my community, and help those kids to have a better reality through kayaking. So
Yeah.
anyway, I get to Costa Rica, bro, and I was so happy that, imagine, I have like gear for start teaching, and I went to the river, to my local river Sarapiquí, which is so beautiful. Like it's nice. It's like you have different sections, you have nice rapids. It's always changing, and the
Yeah.
river, it's
It
so
really
important.
is.
The
I think we talked before. I've been to Sarapaki, and I mean, it's just the most beautiful place. Just big water. There's class 3 sections. There's class 2 sections. There's class 5 sections, and just like wildlife everywhere. Beautiful jungle. It's really a fantastic place.
Yeah, man, I realized how pretty it was after I start traveling, because when you live there, you think
Mm.
that is normal and everybody have it. I
Yeah,
I, I remember like going to the river with easily drive 10 minutes and kayak 2 hours, 3 hours. Like do loops, eating fruits, crystal clear water, lots of wildlife and animals, warm, like we need less gear,
yeah,
and we have waves, we have future. So it was like a really good train, and the river run all year around. And a dry season, you have to be more careful with your lines because you have big boulders, and so it helps you to learn how to move your kayak through the rapids.
Hmm.
And at high water, you have like a big water run with lots of waves and continuous rapids. So it's a little bit of everything that
yeah. That's cool. Same place, totally different river, depending on the
is.
circumstances. Yeah.
So it has so much potential. Like I visualize myself with all those kids there, that how kayaking helps me to accomplish a lot of my dreams. Like dreams for me are like, I don't know, there is nothing impossible if you really want it, and if you put all your intention and effort and you work hard for it, it comes to you. There is no reason that it don't. And if it doesn't come in the first time, keep trying and it will come. So
And
that's
this
one
is
of the
where, yeah, and this is where we left off last time, right? You told your story of traveling all the world, all around the world, all the experiences you had, how it changed you, and you saw things differently, and how you realized that you had an opportunity to bring that to other people, and you had this vision of starting this kayak school and the Jaguar Kayak School in your hometown in Costa Rica. And so now you've kind of we're picking up right here, right where you left off with this vision, and you now have the tools to start to make that happen.
man, it's amazing. I'm very thankful with the kayak community and everybody that helped me during my journey because we are a big family and we are strong and we are beautiful people. Like, I don't know, it's amazing how like we like to help. For example, today, man, I went to the river and first rapid Boulder Garden, and there was like a pin, a little lady in a ducky, and I cannot just pass through. It's my always. It's like I want to help, so I stop, man. I get out of my kayak in a very difficult place that no easy access. It was in the middle of the river, just in a little tiny rock. And if I swim there, I have a bad time. And if I so I kind of she was like a little bit lost. She don't know how to recover the kayak. So I kind of somehow like a Spider-Man. I've been training and teaching the kids how to get out of their kayaks in crazy places like rocks in the middle of the river and cliffs. And it was great because today, after I trained like maybe 3 weeks ago, that was the class. So I took the kids down the river and I teach them okay, now we're gonna climb this rock. If we swim, it's a pool or it's some. So me practicing too, that I know the technique, but me just practicing with the kids, it makes me so confident. Like today in this emergency, I was be able to get out in a place that it was not easy. Like it was just I'm holding the rope with my nails and I put in the paddle. I'm kind of like getting out, pulling the kayak up into the rock, put my paddle inside, my dry back, um, and I start like getting the stuff out of my flotation device. Like I get some webbing and a carabiner, and I start trying to pull the inflatable kayak out of the pin. And when I start moving the kayak out of the pin, more water start flowing through the other side of the rock, and and my kayak start floating with my paddle down river.
Oh man.
And I'm holding the frame
Oh.
kayak and my kayak is floating down. And fortunately, the friends that were with her, they were in the eddy before, and they paddled so hard to take my kayak out of the river because fortunately it didn't flip. But if the kayak continued, probably I lost my paddle, I lost the kayak. So they rescued the kayak in the next eddy, and I'm there holding the webbing of the inflatable kayak with the lady, and she's so scared. And we release it, and then we jump into the kayak with only one paddle, and we make it through shore. So
Man, you can find adventure anywhere.
that just happened,
I
and it
can
was
I can totally picture it because you're talking about the Foxton section on the North Fork of the South Platte River, and I learned how to be a Class 3 boater out there. I've spent many times rescuing gear from Class 2 3 boaters that got in over their head.
it's a very tough section. Like you have to have skills to avoid the I don't know the current move different, and there are so many rocks that you don't see. But it's so
Yeah,
fun, having a great time. I really love the section. I run
yeah,
it like 4 times.
it's a
Yeah,
great
it's
section. I don't,
so
I
fun.
don't, I don't want to steal the show, but I have a quick story about that. Where one time, there was my friend connected with somebody online who was some lady from Connecticut, the Northeast United States, and she was out here for work, and she wanted to go kayaking. And she was a class 3 kayaker, and she rented all of her gear and everything, drove down to the river there, and she was there before we showed up, and she was looking at the river, and she said, "It looks pretty low. Can you run it? I can see the bottom of the river." And we're like, "Yeah, we run it like this all the time." And so she gets into the top of the boulder garden section, goes down like one rapid, flips, and she swims, and her helmet like floats off of her head.
Oh,
So she loses her helmet. So I'm grabbing her helmet, grabbing her gear, helping her get to the side of the river. She has this huge bump on her forehead from hitting her head on the rock. She was going to have to like go to work the next day with this huge welt on her head, and she's just like, "I'm done. I'm not going anymore."
yeah, bro, exactly. You described how it happened. Boulder Garden, tiny, like narrow lines, a person with not a lot of experience in front of a boat, peeing in the rock in the middle of the river. But we have no access, like in the rapid that happened, we have no access to standing up. I put my paddle to see how deep, but no, it was a lot of current and no way to. But yeah, it's a very, very, very fun section. I'm having great times here.
But yeah, those lessons on how to just be around the river and maneuver in the river, they're paying off when you get out.
Yes, this is one of the things I teach to the kids back home because they understand the currents very well.
Mm,
So that's what I did when I get back. I went to the river and I found the kids that were swimming all day and going inner tubing like me 20 years ago because
yeah.
something that makes my kayaking life easier was like I learned first to understand the currents and the river, then to use a kayak. So then when I get into a boat, it was so easy to move around
Hmm.
because
You already have the skills to read the river before you even know how to boat.
so
Yeah.
that's why those kids at home they have a lot of potential because they are like little fish, man. They are always swimming, having great time. I also the other day when I teach them to go over crazy rocks and rescue themselves, I make them swim with their kayaks and across the river and imagine they are
Yeah.
swimming and they need to survive the rapid, even if they do skimo roll very good.
Mm.
So I teach them how to paddle, how to swim with a paddle, how to put the paddle inside and swim to shore, how to let go everything and just swim to shore as fast as you can. So
Yeah.
they were doing all the practice like so good, man. It's like crazy because I want they become a little bit like they can self support, they can self rescue themselves like this they always be with like as I remember like I said in the last show like the first company who helped me to train they give me the opportunity because I rescue myself every rapid that I
Yeah. They're like, okay, this guy can't kayak, but he can at least take care of himself, so we'll keep him around.
and it's not making the trip longer.
Yeah, I was wondering about that though. So when you got home and you were looking to get your first wave of students, it sounds like the way you picked them was you just went down to the river and you started to look for the kids that were playing there and were enthusiastic about
Because you're
being there,
ready
huh?
for talent and they love the river like us. They will be the future protectors of the river. They will protect the river. They will help the community to grow. They will teach other kids, and they will be different in the. I like to teach them with my example. Like this, they see like a little kid like them get out of the country and follow my dreams and went to a few different countries and kayak with beautiful people all over and kind of everything I desire and dream becomes a reality because what I learned through the travel and through the river. So I want to be like an example for them, like a leader, like a mentor that they only don't see me for oh this is the guy who teach kayaking. I am the guy who wants to teach them how to live And if maybe I don't know how to live, but I want to give them example of what happened to me and how I learned different things like respect, humble, hard work, all those things that at the end of the day make a big difference. Doesn't matter in which state of your life you are or where, it makes a huge difference. Teach them how to cook, teach them how to self defense, teach them finances, that they know how to use money, which is one of the hardest thing. Like they don't know how to use money or save or overcome. So it's like it's all around. Like they have like a bright future through kayaking, like kayak love for everybody. And what I do is I bring the kids to the river and I let the river teach them. The river is for me is the medicine, is like healing with nature, is like the best teacher, is like teach you how to be brave, to how to overcome, to how to find yourself somehow. So I'm very happy about. So when I get to Costa Rica and I found those kids, I start like one of my best friends gave me a very good advice with kids. He's a legend. He was one of the guys who support me when I was learning kayaking. He was picking up all the kids on the town, everybody in inner tubing, and he gave us a ride to the pudding, and then we all go down. So every time he saw us walking up the street, he stopped and give us a ride. Uh, because he was a photographer, so he was taking pictures back in the time, and they need to. It were not digital photos, so he need to took the pictures, go to the town, and then make the pictures, and then go back and sell the pictures. So he was always going up and down through the
Oh,
Purin
yeah.
takeout.
Was
So he was
was he a Tico or was he a
he's a
foreigner? Yeah.
he is one of the legends. We call Joaquin Garcia the Tiger. We call him the Tiger.
Awesome.
He was he went to the Olympics kayaking representing Costa Rica back in the
Really?
time. Yeah, and his family, all them are kayakers, and he was one of the first guys who started rafting in Costa Rica and Reventason River, Pacuare River,
Hmm.
and he gave me the advice with kids that let the kids play with the kayak, like let the kids think like the kayak is a toy and they can just have fun. Don't be like, okay, now do this and do that, and don't be too strict. Let them to learn their way,
Hmm.
and they will come to you and ask you what's next. But so I use this technique, and it's very amazing
Hmm.
because they learn with no fear, and they learn so fast, and they are doing stuff like adults are not doing yet in
Hmm.
a very short time. Like they can roll both sides. For example, there is a kid, like he was the first one I start teaching. His name is Fabricio Artavia. He it's a kid that love the river. He's always in the river. He's playing, he's fishing, he's having great time. He's going inner tubing. He's such a kind of kid who came from a, like a family that needs help. Like he only have like he don't have a lot of opportunities, let's put it that way.
Hmm.
So kayaking is helping him to become a better kid. And
Hmm.
it's amazing because one of the things I ask, because I'm giving all my time and all my knowledge and all I have. So I cannot do it to everybody. Not because I don't want, because I don't have time to it. I also have to work. This is a social program that I teach for free, but I also have other stuff to do. So if I choose a couple kids, are the ones who are like in like low income, like families with problems, kids that love the river. So I have the only thing I ask them is like they do good in the school and they have great notes at the school, and also that they share everything they learn with other kids. like this. All what I learned in my time, those kids will pass it through new generations. So those are the only things I ask for. Give free gear and free kayaking classes because I'm happy to be on the river too with them. It's like a dream come true.
Yeah.
So this kid, it's amazing. He's good at the school. His family is so happy that he was a little bit rebel against a lot of stuff, and he found the medicine on the river.
Hmm.
And I start like a year ago with him, and right now he is like solid class 3 boater. He do skimmer roll both sides, back deck roll. He do
Wow.
hand roll both sides.
Wow.
He loves to move. He loves to catch eddies. So he's always asking me, "Can I catch this eddy? Can I catch this eddy? Can I flip? Can I flip?" All those things, they have so much energy, and
And
he's just
how old is he? How
now he's around 14. And when
okay.
I started with him, he was 13.
13. Okay.
And now he's 13, and next year he will be 14. And now a friend led us to use a playboat for him, like his size, and he is all day on the wave. Like he likes to surf. Now he start doing 360s. Like he likes to go through the wave with no paddle because he saw some videos of kayakers like because he's solid hand roll, so he's not scared about flipping. So it makes my heart so happy because I visualize myself. It was kind of same like 20 years ago when I started this beautiful journey, and it's so
Yeah.
cool to see how he is having great changes in the school. Like he's getting amazing qualifications notes in the school.
Hmm.
He is like with his family. His mom say like she don't recognize him anymore because he's completely another kid after kayaking, and those
Yeah,
things
it really
make
sounds like it's something positive for him to focus on and put his energy into that he didn't know what to do with his energy before that.
yeah.
What do you see like kids that kind of lack that family stability and stuff that they need that don't have anything? Like what kind of road do you see people go down that
It's very sad because their biggest kind of dream is to work all their life in a pineapple factory or in a banana plant. They don't have dreams. They don't know the potential they have just to being alive and being there. And Costa Rica is a very nice place to grow up. It's like no army, it's very peaceful. You have like food all over, lots of fruits, great white water. We don't have snow. So it's like a good place to grow that can give you tools to survive in any environment, and can I teach you how to accomplish whatever you want, because it's also life is not that easy, that every day you need to challenge. You have less opportunities,
mm,
talking about
mm,
money or like your family, so you always need to kind of work hard for your things, and
mm-hmm,
that makes you a warrior, like bulletproof. Like you coming from that background, like like your family is like dealing for having money for pay the rent at the end of the month, or maybe they cannot never go out to a restaurant. They have to grow their food because everything is very expensive, or they don't have incomes. So
yeah, most people
it's
don't take what they have for granted. They have to work for every little piece that they can get. Huh?
it's very sad because the government support more like soccer, and for example, the kids can go play soccer, but to be a professional soccer player you need kind of money. You need a rich family that help you to go through the training and give you
Sure.
all the, so it's like those kids, they will never become a good athlete because they don't have the opportunities. In soccer, for example, that is very difficult to be a professional player.
Yeah,
and uh,
but having a river like the Sarapaki right there at your doorstep is a very unique opportunity that a lot of people don't have. right? Having
exactly.
something that good right by you year round.
Yeah, so it's the opportunity is there and the potential is there, and I'm sure all those kids that I'm teaching right now, they are teaching others and they are making the community bigger. And for example, like 3 days ago, I received a text from Fabricio, and he said, "Check it out what I'm doing. I'm teaching my best friend how to roll in this pool." And they sent me a video of the new kid rolling, skimo rolling, because
Oh
Fabricio
yeah.
is also a great teacher. He learned how to. He was paying attention always when I was telling them how to paddle, strokes, like currents, eddies, like T rescue, or like all those like things that make a huge difference. And now he's with 13 years old. He is the first instructor of the kayak academy. He
Oh
is
yeah. That's
so
awesome.
the other time I had like 10 kids or 13 kids, and he was helping me to take care of all the kids in a very, it was a big pool, but not like a swimming pool. It was a big pool on the river.
Hmm.
So we were like 13 kids plus me, another instructor, and two volunteers taking care of everybody in the pool. Like first, kind of they learn how to get it into the kayak, how to get out, how to use the gear, sweep stroke, forward stroke, back stroke, wet exit. So that was kind of like the first, I don't know how to call it, but the first impression with them to kayak, and they love it. They asking me for two more classes back to back, like,
Yeah.
and all their
That's awesome.
families and all the kids. So I know I am doing right. I know, like, I have my heart is telling me like I have to keep doing what I'm doing because I'm saving those kids.
Yeah.
And maybe not me, but the river and the nature.
Uh-huh. Sure.
So
Giving them the opportunity to be saved. Yeah.
yeah,
I'd been thinking about this too, like you bring in 5 kayaks, maybe have a half a dozen kids in your class. It doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're in a place like you are where there's no opportunity for people to learn, then you can start to you have this multiplying effect where you have, what, 6 kids that go off, really get into it, but then they have 6 friends, 10 friends, and they teach those kids how to do it. And then those kids each have their other 10 friends and they teach them how to do it. And pretty soon you've created this whole community of people that are boating there in the local community,
exactly,
which is a kind of
exactly.
exciting thing to think about.
Thank you. It's like that's one of the reasons I'm back here in the state. Like it was very hard because I didn't want to let them a few months without me training them and be with the school. But also my dreams, I can accomplish my dreams more if I come back to the States and leave them for a couple months, like to accomplish other stuff. Now I receive like help from some friends to get back to the States and be part of kayak events like Paddle Fest the other day. I will go to Putter or Powder
Pooter.
Fest, Putter this weekend. After that, I go to Ovi Joyful Kayak Race, and then FIVARC, and then whatever festival kayak that I can be there, because I want to make a bridge. I want to make a connection with kids from here to kids from Costa Rica, and I want to open a way that kids from here they can go to Costa Rica and enjoy the warm water when when the snow arrive and it's very cold, like I don't know, November, December, January, and they can go to Costa Rica, have a family time, have some holidays, enjoy the wildlife, the nature, the volcanoes. We have so good rivers and white water. And if those kids go visit my kids in Costa Rica, they will become friends and they will improve their skills. The kids from here, they will improve their skills there in warm water. And then when they become friends, the kids from Sarapiquí, from Costa Rica, they can come to the States and kayak with their friends here. And I open like best of both places. Like this, I can kind of help the kids here and help the kids there. And I just gonna be the bridge to helping to facilitate that connection. So that's one of my visions, and what is my biggest goal right now is to have contacts to go and meet the already programs that are happening right now with kids here in the States, and try to make a connection and talk to them and explain who I am, what I'm doing, show them the kids. Like in the future we can work together and partnership and create, I don't know, a beautiful program. Like kids can also come here for a week and stay with one of those families who will be happy to host any of those kids that are very respectful and humble, and they just love kayaking. And so that's one of my biggest reasons that I came back here. And if any of the guys who are listening like saw me around, please come and give me ideas, help me to meet people, to kind of have the perfect contacts, because I know a lot of people like to help, especially if it's something that is good for all the kids all around. And I just need to expose the project and myself and be here. So I invest all the money again. um, I I play the days and I'm here in the States. Like, fortunately, I am with some friends that are like family to me, like River family, and they are taking care of me and they are helping me to go around and meet the people and be in places. And I'm so happy with you, Kevin, and with everybody who support this idea.
Yeah,
Because
I mean, I love the vision, and I'm happy to do whatever little bit I can to help out and getting the word out there. And I think that's a really cool idea of having this kind of exchange program. And I think if there's, I'm sure there's families out there that would have a good time doing this, because I know I've been to Costa Rica a couple times. Most people in the United States know about like what an amazing country it is, but these areas too, like the Sarapiquí region, there's a bunch of rivers around there. I did like probably half a dozen other rivers around there.
yeah,
And it's easy to get around the country too and see other parts of it. But like, I remember, like toucans being in the trees, these giant iguanas along the riverbanks. The water is just super warm. We saw, it was in southern Costa Rica, but we saw one of those, they call them like Jesus lizards, that just run across the water. I mean, I just saw so many, like, we saw monkeys, like just in such a small period of time. We're doing all this great water. It's warm, like these super cool rivers. And there's like lots of different varieties, right? Like you can do easy rivers, you can do harder rivers. And I mean, what you're proposing, I think, is just a cool opportunity for families with kids to get out there, and having a contact like you is huge because all the rivers. Like it's not that easy to, I mean, if you know Spanish, you can kind of do it. But even, I was there with, I had Castor, your buddy who was down there helping me out, and he got lost going to the river. I think we were going what was it? The Rio Toro, I think. And yeah, he got lost and having to like figure out where to go. So I mean, having people that know it is huge. You can get such a like better, richer experience doing that and knowing the water levels and all of that. So man, what a cool opportunity you're proposing, and then being able to reciprocate that and bringing in some kid from Costa Rica to it just be, I'm sure you are that kid, so you understand just like what a wild experience that is for someone to come to the US and experience all of these things that you don't get growing up in Costa Rica.
perfect. Thank you, brother. Yes, I think it's a nice, beautiful project that is good for everybody. And if anyone have extra gear that it will go to the garbage that they are not using. And there everything is useful. Even if I need to invest money or find money to do a few trips, it's worth it to pay a cheap flight and just came and collect some helmets or paddles or flotation devices. And so if anyone have anything extra that are not using or is going to the garbage, please let me know and I can collect that, and doesn't matter where it is, and that will go directly to the Jaguar Kayak Academy. And also all of you guys are welcome. Like what I want to create there is like a type of kayak paradise where everybody is welcome, and you guys can stay for free and kayak for free, and you help me with whatever is your talent, with whatever you are the best. If you are a photographer, you help me taking pictures or showing the kids how to take pictures. If you know how to cook, you teach the kids how to cook, or you cook for us one of those days. If you know martial arts and you want to help the kids how to defend themselves, I don't know, if you like music and you wants to teach music, you can be a volunteer and come and help me. If you are a kayaker or if you want to improve your skills, we can coach you down the river and you help with the kids. So I want to create that like base for everybody here in the States and everybody in the world, like share the kayak love, the community. I've been where I've been in all those countries and rivers because the kayak community, because the love of my friends, the people who love the river, and they were welcome me in their houses, in their rivers, in their towns. Now is my turn to share my local paradise, my little beautiful river that have amazing white water, wildlife, nature, warm water. So everybody's welcome back in Costa Rica. Please contact me anytime for, I don't know, advices, or if you want just to help or be partner, or because I want to create a Jaguar team. I want to create people that there is all of us love to help. So if I put everybody together, the dream become a reality. Only dreaming alone can be just a dream, but a dream that a few people dream together, it becomes a reality. And I'm talking for my own experience that all of that helped me through my journey, ups and downs, roller coasters. And yes, I just want to thanks everybody, and see you on the river. I don't know.
Well, if people want to get in contact with you because they have some gear to donate, and I'll try to get this episode out soon so they can hit you up at some of these river festivals, the OBJ race, Fib Arc. I think Pruderfest is this weekend. But what's the best way to get in touch with you?
You can contact me through my email, or I have a phone number, or I can give a phone number from a friend that I'm staying at. And I think the easiest will be email, maybe, or I can give you my WhatsApp number that anytime I have internet, I can check, or by Facebook or Instagram.
So yeah, that's awesome, man. Love the vision. Thanks for talking with me again, Coto, and looking forward to getting out on the river with you again.
Yeah, bro. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the opportunity to show this beautiful project, and see you on the water.
Coto is going to be traveling around Colorado for the month of June, and he'll be at many of the festivals, including the upcoming OBJ race and Fib Arc. If you see him, be sure to stop and say hey. If you have used gear that you'd like to donate to his kayak school, let's find a way to get it to him. Also, Koto is actively seeking help and connections to start a sort of exchange program between his students in Costa Rica and the United States. So if you or someone you know would be interested in being a part of that or helping with this project, please get in touch with them and spread the word. His website is jaguarkayak.com, and there are links there to his email contact and phone contact. He can be reached on Instagram or Facebook as well at Andrey Coto Robles. I'll include links in the show notes. Thanks so much for listening, and until next time, Pura Vida.